Diary. It's Saturday, June the 22nd. This is an update on the Wixford Village Hall. First of all, to notice that the external temporary camera equipment has been removed and the post box has been installed. There's been a flurry of unwrapping of cardboard boxes, some of which are left there. The other rest have been taken by someone for composting. So we're going in. So much of the lighting has been sorted out. These light switches, to show you, are not simple light switches. They're using a DALI bus system. And that means to say that each switch is connected not just power, but forms a bus of switches. And there's an electronics cabinet which talks to each light such that you can program what each light on and off or long press does. We have a notice board that has been mounted. The sit down area when you're coming in has been constructed from the IKEA flat pack. Moving into the hall, zoom out a bit. We had our first do last night, which is for kind of constructors of members of the team only. And the tables have been left out after a very successful Friday night. We've already convened today on a Saturday to do yet more work, so let's just see some of the changes. The speaker wiring has been plugged. So if you see here, these are what's called Mutric connectors, and they have been partially wired. We've used a meter to try and figure out what wires go from which speaker to which other speaker. So you see there's 4 speakers. 3, 4. We now need to connect them up to the amplifier. The projector has been tentatively wired. I've got to look at that this afternoon. Now that's an Epson projector. It's not that fancy, but it does have 2 LED inputs and 2 HDMI inputs. You can see now, I've just cabled those up to the wall sockets in the ceiling. Later today I'm going to try and make some progress on trying to find out if they're actually active. Oh yeah, that goes without saying that all the internet sockets have not yet been configured. So they are now numbered, but we don't think they've been tested. So that is yet to be completed by electrician next week. The clock has been installed. And looking back at the hall, looking pretty great. Oh, if you see at the back of the hall, the screen for the projector is now installed also. Okay, let's move into the kitchen once more, very important room. Everything is now installed. We used the kitchen for the first time last night to try and figure out how it was working. Generally speaking, fine. We've done some things like figure out exactly what bins should go where. We're trying to keep the surface as clean as possible with minimum interruptions. So for example, the bins have been labelled and we have a food bin, which is here. So this is going to be a food bin with compostable bags. And this is going to be recycling, and this is going to be waste, as per our key. So everything is being labelled. So the boiling water machine is labelled. Let's just switch that on. I'll just come in to do some work. We've got to sort out what goes where, and that's still a work in progress. So on to the toilets. The toilets have been stuffed with important things like paper. That's a hot air dryer here. We haven't installed the mirrors yet, nor have we installed the automated soap dispenser. So we're waiting on mirror specifications for us to be exact there. We've had a long discussion this afternoon, just to show the amount of detail we're going into. We've had a long discussion about cleaning materials and where they can be stored. Now, there are government regulations which, for example, say that fluids may not be stored and left in the hall without being locked. So we think we need to provide a lockable cupboard, and there's been many discussions as to how wide the cupboard can be, where it's going to be, to avoid people bumping into it and causing injury to themselves. So there's and even the fact that the cleaning bucket for the kitchen needs to be separate from the cleaning bucket for the rest of the hall, because we have to avoid cross-contamination. So there's it's been a learning experience for me, because I hadn't realised that we need to have quite so many regulations obeyed. Oh, you're looking there at the water boiler, which is separate, and that's providing water for this cleaner's closet, and also it's providing water for these sinks here. Let's keep going. The infamous internet cupboard. Wow, things are still awaiting. The sockets are in, but I can't move the equipment down until these sockets have really been tested. They have not been end-to-end tested. There is the amp, because I think I said it in an earlier video, we are putting the amp and as many things as we can here and not in the hall to declutter the hall. So that's the current position of the power amp, and these are the two speaker wires, and these are the inputs to the amp. And we've got two wires for the moment because it's 2-channel, but we have the option in the future to make it a 4-channel system, so that's great. As you can see, the storeroom is now pretty well stored, if that's the right word. We've had to perform some important surgery on these chair trolleys. So we bought this fancier chair trolley, and they're much more convenient than the one at the back there. So, but then when we got it, we found to our horror that this width fits to the first gap, but not through this door frame that I'm standing in. So we've had to perform some surgery with 2 members of the team with angle grinders and some precise measurements to rejig these to fit, and that has been done. So we are, again, thankful to our volunteers. As you can see, there's quite a few bits of kit that have not been installed. And almost finally, on the inside at least, we've got the meeting room. So, television and the conference bar are unpacked. They need to be put onto the wall, which hasn't happened. But as you can imagine, putting these things onto the wall needs quite a lot of care, because we don't want to drill through any cables. So that's it for the inside of the building. Let's now go to the outside of the building. We've made use of one of the team. And our committee is a professional, super experienced gardener. As you can see, she's hard at work here on a Saturday for no pay, gardening. I think that's actually her favourite activity. Okay, let's just finish off by just going back to the front of the hall where we started from. What a great post and rope fence. Wow. Disabled space is there. We've had the plants planted here under this tree. And once more, that's the Wixford Village Hall, Saturday, June 22nd update.